Well, hello, and welcome to your next episode of Shonda's Talk. I'm going to give you a disclaimer. By the end of this video, you're going to want to go get you your 90s, early 2000s R&B playlist to have your full-blown concert and a jam session, because I'm starting a series called When Love Had a Soundtrack, Love Didn't Die, We Changed the Lyrics. I'm going to ask you a question. Did love change, or did the soundtrack of love change? Maybe love didn't die. Maybe we changed the lyrics. And I know love didn't die because I am a lover girl. I love love. What if I told you one of the greatest teachers of love was not your parents, your grandparents, your pastors, or your therapist? Would you believe me? You should. Because one of the greatest teachers of love was your music. And I'm going to give you two examples right now. Take the song Dream by Cisco. The lyric says, "It took a dream to tell me that I love you. I see that you have always been there for me." That, my God, is so powerful and vulnerable. The second lyric I want to give you an example of is by Drew Hill. It's called "What Are We Gonna Do?" The lyric says, "When love overcomes your heart, there is nothing you can do. I love you, girl. You are my world." Ask yourself this. When was the last time, men or women, you ever felt like you were someone's world? I'll wait. It's been years for me. We learned through songs, whether on the radio, our Walkman, our CD players, or lyrics we had sketched and burned into our hearts. We learned how to pursue, how to sacrifice, how to commit, how to choose someone. We learned about accountability. We learned about vulnerability. And we learned that there's honor in honoring the person you love. But somewhere along the way, the soundtrack changed. Love stopped being about devotion and started becoming about options. Love stopped being about commitment and started becoming convenience. I wonder, and this is just my personal opinion, again, my personal opinion, I wonder, did love start failing when music stopped teaching us how to stay? You see, we're getting ready to talk about the very first song in this series. And when men weren't ashamed to publicly fight for love, society and relationships were different. The very first song we're going to talk about today is called "Never Gonna Let You Go" by Blackstreet. And if you take a moment and really listen to this song, and I mean really listen to it, they're not talking about replacing women. They're not talking about keeping the options open. They're not talking about pretending they don't care. They are actually fighting for the relationship. The lyric says, "Part-time loving just won't do." So you know what? We're going to unpack that. Let's talk about what that actually means. A halfway commitment, not enough. Convenient, not enough. Showing up when it's beneficial, not enough. They wanted a complete relationship, not a situationship, not secrecy, nor a part-time experience. They wanted all of you. That means they wanted everything that came with you. Your perfections, your imperfections, your flaws, your fears. They wanted everything that came with you. Why? Because they didn't want a part of you. They wanted all of you. The next lyric is, I must admit, I did you wrong. That speaks volumes in itself. It is talking about accountability. There was no excuses, no blame shifting, no victim mentality, just accountability. When was the last time, whether in a song or in society, you seen or heard someone openly admit they did something wrong? Don't worry, I'll wait, because it's been a minute for me. And those words carry so much more maturity than most relationships will ever reach. Not because we don't know how to communicate, because we do, but because dysfunction has become our new normal, we don't want to communicate. So now I'm getting ready to ask you for my favor. I need you, yes you, to listen to me with your ears, not your triggers, your trauma, your damage, your brokenness, or your bitterness. Because the next lyric we're going to talk about is when he said, because you belong to me. And again, I don't want your triggers talking. He's not talking about ownership. He is talking about commitment. Choosing someone and allowing yourself to be chosen in return. Oh my God, that just makes my heart feel warm and fuzzy and just, whoo, that's that exhale moment. Because that's that moment where you feel like your rib is being put back together. Because you can put any rib back in your body, but if it's the wrong rib, it will cause an infection. I'm going to digress and keep going. But in my opinion, that's where our culture has shifted and drifted. Many people are so afraid to openly appear attached because it exposes everything. It exposes what, Shonda? You want to know what it exposes? I'm taking the gloves off and I'm going to tell you. It exposes your options, your situationships. It exposes the people on the side who has been led to believe that you are still available. Because you cannot be publicly committed to one person and continually entertain others privately. Because why? Your lie is exposed. So instead, what you do, instead of building one solid, healthy relationship, you entertain 3 different emotional arrangements that will never fully develop into anything meaningful. Does that make sense? That is actually crazy work. People celebrate having options more than they celebrate peace, like it's a flex. And it's not. People celebrate access more than they celebrate commitment. People celebrate attention more than they celebrate loyalty, because likes and shares on social media mean more than honesty and respect. But you see, Blackstreet understood something back then that we are missing today. There is power, again, power in being chosen. There's peace in being chosen. There's security in being chosen. There's honor in choosing someone back. That's why this lyric, because you belong to me, is so powerful. It's not because he owns her. It's because he is publicly and unapologetically saying, out of the billions of people in this world, I choose you. I choose you. I choose you. I choose you. With a culture so obsessed with options, Being chosen has now become one of the rarest gifts a person can receive. But what gets me every single time I hear this song is when he says, "We can make it if we try." And you know what that says? Love does not survive because feelings are strong. Love survives when two people, not one, but two people, are willing to try honest and transparent communication, understanding, forgiveness, and growth. But if you listen to the song, do you know what's missing? Manipulation, revenge, emotional games and control, and there was no mention of a backup plan. There was only accountability, commitment, effort, and hope. So I'm going to ask you another question. And that question is this: when was the last time you allowed someone to see the real version of you instead of the protected version? You see, what changed is 90s music was not perfect. I got a whole list of toxic and dysfunctional music on my playlist that I don't even listen to anymore. And not all relationships last. Not all relationships had healthy messages. But our culture changed what we celebrated as love. We are now celebrating side pieces, situationships, cheating, secrets, and dysfunction. Admiration has become entitlement. Consideration has become weakness. Commitment became something people apologized for instead of being proud of it. Manipulation became confidence. Avoidance became independence. Pride became a standard. And dysfunction became a personality trait. Since when? Please go to therapy. Dysfunction is not part of your personality. I'm going to say it again. Dysfunction is not part of your personality. Go to therapy. It is not normal. We can sing songs about cheating, revenge, emotional games, and heartbreak, word for word, loud, and with our chest out. But having a 10-minute conversation with your spouse about appreciation, how you feel, is doing too much. Yeah, I'm going to say it again. Go to therapy. That's not normal. It's not normal. But that's not even a music problem. That's a mirror problem. In other words, that's a you problem. Again, go to therapy. Eventually, what we consume, we normalize. Likes are not loyalty. Attention is not commitment. Options have never been a substitute for connection. I'm going to say it again. Your options that you keep in your back pocket, front pocket, in your text messages, in your social media account, and your phone contacts, that is not a substitute for connection. Love survives when two people, not one, but two people, are trying to understand each other and grow. And I wouldn't be me if I didn't leave you with some reflective questions. Are you ready? Question number 1. What behaviors have you normalized that you would never want your children to experience? Question number 2. Are you building love or are you protecting yourself from it? Love dies when two, not one, but two people are trying to win over each other or to see who can come out on top. Love was not just something you felt. Love was something you honored, protected, and something you fought for. Think about the songs you listen to today. Are they teaching you how to build love, or are they teaching you how to protect yourself from it? Remember, love always wins. You deserve healthy, unconditional love. Until next time, this has been the first episode of Shonda Talk. Thank you for watching.